Well, you can see how old I look. I just thought I'd show you how old I looked when I was 81. I do look old. You know, if they would have did this and a couple other stuff, and I wouldn't look too bad getting the bags under my eyes on. But anyway, I'm just going to try to use up some more of this tape, or this, whatever this the gadget is that I got in here. But anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about the dogs, the animals I had in my life. I'm not going to go mention the birds because we had quite a few birds and a few parakeets and things like that. But just the bigger animals. And the first animal I can remember is my grandmother had a dog. She lived downstairs from us, and we called it Niwa. Niwa is Indian for dog. Now, Niwa was I could consider him like an alley dog. He'd get up. He would sleep all day, and at night, my grandmother would lead him out, and he'd go do his thing, and he'd roam the alleys and look for other animals. I don't know what he did, but that's what he did. He was a stay-at-home during the day. My grandmother would feed him, and then he would take off at night, and we wouldn't see him again till the morning. He went out one night and never came back. So I don't know if he found somebody or what he did. But anyway, he never came back after he left. That was my grandma Stasinka. My grandma Simek, now, she had a dog, a Spitz. Oh, Grandma Stasinka's dog, I don't know what he was. He looked like he was part collie, they were just a mutt, I guess. Now, my grandma Simek, she had a Spitz. Now, this was a real, this was a thoroughbred dog. You could tell he was nice. He was really friendly around kids and anybody, except if anybody wanted to do anything to my grandmother. I mean, she would take him out to the store, and usually out shopping. And in those days, she'd go to little stores. She'd go to the butcher shop, and the dog would stay outside, and he would stay outside and wouldn't let anybody in the store till my grandmother came out. So the merchants got to know him, and when my grandmother came in, they rushed. They rushed, took her order, did everything she wanted so she could leave, and so that Skippy would leave the front of the store because he would just stand there. Anybody tried to go in the store, he'd growl. And then he was a good dog because my grandmother used to feed a lot of bums because of the living near the yards there where she lived. And the bums would come in, and they knew my grandmother would feed them. So they would sit on the back steps, and the dog would stand, and any movement, and they may try to make him into the house, the dog would have torn him apart. He was just vicious. But as long as they stayed there, my grandmother says it was okay for that. The dog wouldn't say a thing. But boy, they would start moving, and he'd growl and show his teeth, and there's no business. He was going to tear them apart. And that, I don't know what happened to Skippy. I think he just died of old age, I guess. I don't remember. I had a dog growing up. It was a black dog. It was kind of a mutt dog, not very big. His name was Cappy. We called him Cap. His real name was Cappy. And I had him for a while, and then what happened was I don't know how he broke his leg. I don't know if my dad stepped on him or if he fell down the steps, but he broke a leg. And they had to put him to sleep. So that was yeah, I had him for about maybe 3 years. That was a real blow to me, and I said at that time I wasn't going to have any dogs anymore. Then, of course, we got married. Oops, you hear that? That's my telephone. It's probably some. Well, let me look, see what it is. Oh, it was, you know what it was? It was one of those 800 calls, those nuisance calls. Let's see, where was I? Oh, now I'll tell you what. When the kids were growing up, we had little animals. We had some birds, some parakeets. We had a canary. We had a couple of those small little, they look like rats. But anyway, I forgot what they called those. Hamsters, that was it. We had a couple of those. But the first big animal we had was, we got a cat. The kids got him. Somebody was passing him out at some store. It looked like a tiger, so we called him Tiger. He was really a good cat. I mean, of how cats go, he would obey. He'd obey me. I would tell him to do, go downstairs. He'd go downstairs. He was a good cat for everybody, except he didn't like Mike for some reason. I don't know if Mike tormented him or what, but he didn't like Mike. He crept on his bed and peed on his bed, and he just didn't like Mike. So didn't know what to do with him. So I had a customer that had a farm in Germantown Hill outside of Peoria. So I talked to him about taking Tiger in as a farm cat, and he says, well, can he catch? They need him to catch rats and stuff. I said, oh yeah, he's really a good cat for that. I says he's a good, he'll make a good farm cat. Well, he said, I'll take him, but if he doesn't work out, you'll have to take him back. I said, that's a deal. So I brought Tiger out to the farm, let him go, and he stayed out at the farm. And I never heard back from the contractor. I talked to him several times after that. And he said, "Oh, the cat's working out fine." He says he's getting along with the other cats and is taking care of the business out there. So that was good. Then it was a long drought till we came to California. And I was traveling for Caterpillar that time, and Mother called me up and says, I went out and bought a dog. I says, what kind of dog you got? Well, I got a little poodle. Now, if you don't like it, when you come home, we can give it back to where she bought it. Well, I mean, I came home a couple of days later, and of course, all the kids fell in love with it, especially the girls, and and he was a good dog. I liked Peppy. He was really good, and we kept him till he went blind, and we had to put him to sleep. He had a stroke, and then we put him to sleep. And then there was CR. CR, he and I, he was a good dog. CR. It used to be Laura's dog, but she got a divorce and didn't need a dog anymore, didn't want a dog. So we took CR in. He was really a good dog. I really liked CR. He got to be my friend. He used to sit on my lap and we'd watch TV, and he was just really a good dog. But then all of a sudden, he didn't recognize me. He didn't know anybody. He was just, I don't know. So we took him to the vet and found out he had dementia or Alzheimer's for dogs or animals. So we had to put him down. That was kind of sad. That was sad. One of the sad days of my life is having to put CR to sleep. But I don't know. Mother and I now we're in our 80s, and we're thinking about getting another animal. But I don't know. We still would like to travel, and dogs just they we'd have to give them have people take care of them and things like that. So I don't think we're going to get one until maybe when I hit 85 or so. Maybe we'll start thinking about slowing down and getting a dog. So that's the story of the animals I had in my life. I can't think of any more I had. It was the animals I had I really enjoyed, but I don't know what else to say about that. So just look at me and say, God, does he look old? That's it.